The president's lawyers have asserted that only the president and his hand-picked attorney general can review and rule on the legality of the president and his attorney general.
You work for us. What have you done about it?
The president has promised to cut Environmental Protection Agency staff by 65%. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The president has fired workers for the Food and Drug Administration who ensure that our food and medical supplies are safe. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The president has declared the confirmed torture and assassin Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia to be, quote, tremendously respected. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The president has named right-wing podcaster Dan Bongino, who has repeatedly praised the January 6th insurrection and violence against Trump's opponents, as deputy director of the FBI. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The president's administration has blocked funds for biomedical research, bringing the USA research on cancer, dementia, and addiction to a halt. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The president has ignored the rulings of federal judges who have issued direct rulings that he must end his conduct. You work for us.
What have you done about it? The president has asserted to right of control federal spending, a power expressly assigned to the Congress by the U.S. Constitution. You work for us. What have you done about it?
The president has laid off agents who investigate tax fraud by the richest people and corporations in the United States. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The president has illegally fired the leadership of the Kennedy Center and installed a new director with a promise of using the center to celebrate Christianity over other religions. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The president has violated federal law to end all activities of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the people who investigate and report on corporate fraud against Americans. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The president has ordered federal officials to stop investigating foreign influence into United States elections. You work for us.
What have you done about it? The president has fired health inspectors at the border who prevent human, plant, and animal diseases from entering the United States. You work for us. What have you done about it?
Trump and his administration have circulated media giving Donald Trump a crown and naming him the king. He works for us.
What have you done about it?
All right, the president has illegally ordered independent watchdogs to submit to his authority and accept his interpretation of law. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The president's administration has announced a cut of 84% to federal staff who respond to disasters and help people get back on their feet. You work for us, Susan.
What have you done about it?
Ignoring the existence of intersex and infertile people, the Trump administration has declared it a matter of law that there are only males and females exist. You work for us. What have you done about it?
The president has fired hundreds of employees at the Transportation Security Administration, making the nation more vulnerable to terrorist attacks. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The President has forbidden teachers in schools across the country, from kindergarten to the university level, from mentioning the existence of discrimination and prejudice. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The President and his party have made inclusion the bedrock of principle of democracy an insult to be abolished. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The President has allowed pregnant women to die rather than allow them medical treatment. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The President has declared and then reiterated that he who saves his country does not violate any law. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The President has forbidden communities from requiring COVID vaccination during outbreaks. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The President has deleted all federal references to the existence of transgender people and revised history to remove mention of the central role played by transgender people in the Stonewall movement. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
Ignoring long waiting lists for military veterans to receive health care and other benefits, the President has ousted more than 1,000 people who work for the Department of Veteran Affairs. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
Amidst the backlog of nearly 4 million federal immigration cases, the President has fired federal immigration judges. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The President has ended the long-standing practice of asylum for people being persecuted in their home countries. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The President has directed his health secretary to initiate actions that would end women's access to abortion pills. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The President has used his office to obtain unreported gifts and promote his private business. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
While cutting dozens of federal programs that help people, Doge head Elon Musk has maintained a steady flow of government contracts to his private corporations. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
It's a long list, but we'll keep them coming. It's been less than 40 days.
The President has halted enforcement of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, which makes it illegal for companies to bribe political leaders. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
Trump and his Attorney General have disbanded a task force to stop foreign influence over U.S. elections. He works for us.
What have you done about it?
The President has purged members of the Intelligence Advisory Board and replaced them with loyalists. You work for us, Susan.
While granting Elon Musk and his Doge team access to the personal financial data of every American, President Trump has declared all Doge records to be immune from Freedom of Information Act requests for public records. You frickin' work for us!
What have you done? 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 What have you done?
The President has ousted the nation's archivist, who preserves government documents for history. You work for us, Susan.
What have you done?
Trump banned the Holocaust Days of Remembrance in the U.S. military. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The President has prohibited federal workers from using pronouns to refer to themselves in communication. You work for us.
What
President Trump has repeatedly mentioned running for a third term, an unconstitutional act. What have you done about it? You work for us.
What have you done about it?
What have you done about it?
What have you done about it? What have you done about it? What have you done about it? What have you done about it? What have you done about it?
What have you done about it? The President and his Attorney General, Bondi, has blocked the enforcement of laws preventing pollution of our air and water. You work for us, our grandchildren, our children.
What have you done about it?
The President has banned Martin Luther King Day in the U.S. military. Give me a break. What have you done about it?
The President and his administration have gutted the Federal Aviation Administration staff, leading to a rash of safety incidents and outright plane crashes across the country. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
This administration made it legal to discriminate against trans people in the U.S. military. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The President has halted mine-clearing operations across the world. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
President Trump threatened to revoke the broadcast license of CBS after it aired an interview with Kamala Harris. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The President has blamed the Ukrainians for being invaded and threatened them for defying the tyrant Vladimir Putin. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The President has canceled regulations that require America's wealthiest corporations to disclose the impact of their activities on our climate. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The President has called for the ethnic cleansing of Palestine so he can develop into a luxury resort. You work for us. What have we done about it?
What have you done about it? The President has declared his intention to close the Federal Emergency Management Agency, which provides disaster relief to millions of Americans. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The President has threatened the people of Maine, promising to withhold already pledged federal funding from the state of Maine unless Maine's governor promises to act against existing federal and state law. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
We'll see you in court.
We'll see you in court.
We'll see you in court. We'll see you in court. We'll see you in court. We'll see you in court. We'll see you in court.
Who here stands with Janet Mills?
All right. The President has sued news networks for reporting the truth about his behavior. You work for us. What have you done?
The President has terminated contracts for work to prevent another Ebola outbreak. You work for us. What have you done about it?
The President has praised and promoted a video depicting Palestinian women working for European tourists in the sex trade and the erection of a 50-foot tall golden statue in tribute of himself.
Boo!
You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The President has closed the Social Security Administration Civil Rights Office that investigated discrimination and protected disabled workers. You work for us.
What have you done about it?
The President has restricted freedom of the press to cover him, banning news outlets that have anything to do with hard questions for him. You work for us. What have you done about it?
The First Amendment guarantees us the right to peaceably assemble. Have we peaceably assembled today?
Yes!
The government, through the Constitution and the First Amendment, gives us the right to petition the government at the seat of government, including the Knox County Courthouse. That is where we are. Are we exercising that right today?
Yes!
The First Amendment also grants freedom of the press. The press is here today. Are we all here by choice?
Yes!
So let us thank the press who are here today. And I want to thank you with all of our hearts. It is cold, it is raining, it is 32 degrees, but we are freezing for a reason. Thank you.